what is the impossible? See, like I get scared when people start saying shit like that to me. I'm like, what could this have been? Like, what could this be? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? But welcome back to another episode of the Jayson Estrera podcast, where we talk about basketball as accurate as possible. Now, I thought there wouldn't be much to talk about today. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought there wouldn't be much to talk about, but after going through some of the things that I've watched over the last over the last day or so, and some of the things that have come out, hey, we actually have some stuff to talk about, man. I gotta give these folks a lot of credit, man. I gotta give these folks a lot of credit. Like RG3, Shaq, they keep giving us things to talk about, and so we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about all of it. We are going to also talk about the Bleacher Top 100 list one more time, because I think Gilbert Arenas shared a perspective that was very unique, and I could understand why some people might not like what he says, but we'll talk about it. I think it's a good perspective. I always think it's at the very least a great exercise to try to talk about and explain something that maybe you don't even believe yourself, right? It's just a great exercise for the mind. So we'll talk about that today. And a couple of other things, but the fuck, why does that look like that? But we'll start. I thought I hit 100, but now it says 96. What are you talking about? A hundred what? 100 what? 100 what? What's 100? What you almost hit 100 and what? What are we talking about? Oh. Oh shit, I didn't even know that. Here, I got you right now. Bam. I got you right now. I got you right now. I got you, bro. I got you. I got you. We'll get you closer. Man. We'll get you closer. Ooh, Fan Expo. Oh shit. That's fire. I got you. Hey man, listen, I've been thinking about getting just because I'm on your channel real quick. I've been thinking, I seen some Star Wars stuff. I don't know if I want to get another Lord of the Rings tattoo, or if I want to get a Star Wars tattoo. I'm stuck in between. There's a local artist by me that actually put out a Flash, some Flash tattoos, and she had Lord of the Rings stuff on it, which I think is really rare. Not a lot of people have Flash tattoos with Lord of the Rings on it. So I was really contemplating it, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. We'll see. We'll see what we do, but I've been itching to get another. I've been itching to get more, man. So sooner than later, y'all will probably see some more ink on me, but today is not that day, which is unfortunate. So let's move on. That's such a sad topic. Not getting a tattoo is a sad topic. But let's start with, let's start right here, because I think this is a great spot to start. We'll start off with the recent Richard Jefferson quotes, where he's talking about the 2028 Olympics, which is going to be in LA. And with the way the Olympics went down, the way the USA men's basketball team went about it, right? It was a movie, right? It really was a movie. And the three top dogs of the team were LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant. Right? So LeBron right now is turning 41. Curry is 36 and Kevin Durant is 37. So that is the perspective that Richard Jefferson is coming from. That's fire. Derpy, Jason, what's good? Elijah, what's good? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I know I'm a little bit late today. I was supposed to be on. It was a wild morning today, but we made it. We made it. How you doing? How you doing, bro? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, bro? But I don't know if you've done this, Elijah. Yo, let's get Derpy to 100 subs, bro. Go give him a sub. Let's get him to 100 subs. Let's get him to 100 subs. Go give him a sub. Go give him a sub. I'm good too, man. I'm good too, man. I'm good too. That's good to hear, dog. That's good to hear. What do you guys think about this Richard Jefferson? I'm trying to find the quote right now. He said, and I quote, this is from Richard Jefferson: "America does not have dominant big guys." He continued, "That's the thing. They have to do it in the next 3 years. You need to figure out how to replace Joel Embiid. You're talking about adding another 3 years to Anthony Davis before that summer. The U.S. has always had dominant bigs. You had David Robinson, you had Karl Malone, you had Barkley, you had Patrick Ewing. Then fast forward when you had multiple teams, you had Dwight Howard on Redeem Team. I believe you always had dominant bigs. The dominant bigs has faded from the U.S. Most of the dominant bigs are coming over from Europe," he added. And then on top of everyone else getting older, right? Talking about LeBron, KD, Steph, and he also mentioned that Serbia has one All-Star, right? Which is obviously Jokic, considered to be the best player in the world by a lot of people. But him by himself, not to disrespect, Bogey or the other guys on that team, but it was really Jokic, almost beat Team USA. And the reason I don't agree with Richard Jefferson is this, right? The last 2 seasons, everyone has been so concerned about the future of the league, right? Everyone has been so concerned about the future. Who's the next player coming up? Who's the next one after LeBron and Durant and Steph and all of these people, right? And as you look around the league, I think the league is fine. I think those guys can leave and we'll be just fine. There are so many names, right? So many names just in this last draft alone. You have, guys are starting to bring up names other than Cooper Flag. So it's very possible that a big man can come in within the next 3 years that obviously isn't going to be some veteran, but a younger big surrounded by a bunch of the best players who are also vets at that point by 2028. I think that is very possible. Minimal, Zebo, DeMarcus Cousins, Tim Duncan, etc. um, I guess the thing to look at though right now is who would be on that roster, right? The league is fine, but competing with USA teams, they won't have the talent anymore. But like, okay, let's say we concede. Okay, let's say there's two teams in Jokic and Wemby that have big guys that we can't really match up with, right? Cool, right? Anthony Davis is going to be older. Bam is going to be older. We're probably not going to have Joel Embiid, right? But who guards the rest of the team? Like, who guards Anthony Edwards? How old will he be in 2028? He's 23 now. He's gonna be like 26 in his prime in 2028. Um, you're talking about a Jason Tatum who's 29 at that time, right? A lot more experience. A Jaylen Brown, a Cooper Flag that's gonna be entering his fourth year in the league. Like, I cool, maybe we can concede the bigs matchup to some teams, but how are they going to guard everybody else on the team? Would be my question. Now we can look at guys like Chet, Cat, Jabari Smith, etc. Now for current US guys. I think we also have we also bullshit too. We don't put teams together. We put players like, how wasn't Trey on that team? But Hallie was. Why wasn't Embiid and Kawhi there? I think that's a great point. Chet Holmgren is gonna be a potential defensive player of the year candidate. That's going to, if he's on the Olympic team and gets better, right? That's one great prospect. If Zion could ever get his shit together, listen, I don't know what any other team is going to be able to do with him if he can get his shit together. But I think we got guys that we could go in there with, and like I said, they're going to have to guard our guards and our wing players, and I don't know how they're about to do that. So, I think that's like a fruit fly. I think because of the plants in here. Sorry, guys, but I just like blacked out right there. This is live. This is live, y'all. This is live. But like I said, I see where Richard Jefferson is coming from. But you got to think also, not every team is gonna have a Jokic and a Wemby. And the way the game is trending. Right? The way the game is trending, those teams are also going to be looking for more 3-point shots. Right? The basketball as a whole is not as much of an interior post-up game like it used to be, and that's just across the board. Right? Everyone everywhere is trying to play like Kobe Bryant or Steph Curry. Let's just call it what it is. And even Serbia last year, they were putting up a lot of threes, even with Jokic on the squad. So I think we'll be able to match up. I do think it would help, right, with a Chet Holmgren if we have another young big man that can come in within the next 3 years, with a backup like or having Cat there too, Jabari Smith. So, there's a couple of guys that I think could fill that role. They're not gonna be Jokic or Wemby, right? That's not the point, right? That's not the point necessarily. Like we won on the Olympics team with Tyson Chandler at the center. right? It doesn't necessarily have to be this dominant big when we have such dominant players everywhere else. We just need a big that can compete on defense against the other guys and try to give Jokic and Wemby a hard time and get rebounds, right? That's really the role for the center that we need. They don't necessarily have to be dominant, especially if we have guys that are just gonna run all over the floor, right? I'm picturing. I mean, you're. I get that Hallie's name gets brought up the way that it does, but and Trae Young is great also, but really think about at least the Halliburton that we've seen through the playoffs. Imagine him pushing the ball up and down the floor with Jason Tatum on his side, Anthony Edwards, maybe like a Jaylen Brown or someone else, maybe Paolo Banchero, Zion Williamson. If he like that, that sounds really promising, right? I know I gave Hallie a lot of shit last year, but I do think someone extremely unselfish with an ability to shoot, paired with guys that want to score. I think that's a good combination. And we'll build the team out from there. But not saying Hallie would start, but I mean, I'm trying to think right now. Yeah, because Shea, Luca be on other teams. Jalen Brunson, Trae Young. I mean, it's close. It's really close. If I mean, people are gonna hate this, but if you really actually think about it, by 2028, Halliburton might be the guy, the point guard that we need on that team. Right? Can knock down 40% from three, open threes, but his whole goal is to move the ball and push the ball up and down the floor. And you just let all of the other wing guys do their thing, right? That might actually be the move, and then have a Trae Young or a Jalen Brunson who's more of a scoring guard come off the bench and be super dominant, right? Off the bench. I kind of like the sound of that. I kind of like the sound of that. Excuse me. Because think about the times when Jason Kidd was running the point for the Olympics, or Chris Paul, right? Halliburton is more Chris Paul, Jason Kidd than Trae Young and Jalen Brunson, or honestly think of any other point guard, even Steph Curry, right? Halliburton leans more towards those guys, and we saw a lot of success with those guys because this point guard is just trying to let these guys score and get buckets, right? Always looking for open shots. Let Anthony Edwards's athleticism take over. Tatum, get his shots, pick his spots, so on and so forth. I actually really like that combination. Halliburton, you mean? Bro, like that. I can't believe of all the nicknames that's the one that sticks for him. Trae a better option in my opinion, since he is one of the better offensive hubs. Then I got Ja, Maxey, Cade, LaMelo, Brunson, endpoint spot potential. But like I guess because I'm thinking, if you have this Olympic roster, right? The Olympic team, realistically, because they have such little time to play together, wouldn't the style of play that's the most effective be close to what the Indiana Pacers were doing? And granted, Trae Young has really become a good point guard in this league, right? I think he's really grown his game a lot, and I got to give him a lot of credit for that. But at 6'6", right? Hallie's ability to just see over defenders. You're gonna have some smaller point guards. He'll be able to see over the defense, and I think out of all of those players that you named, I think Halliburton pushes the ball better than all of them, right? From whether it's getting the ball off of an outlet and pushing it ahead to whoever is ahead, him running the ball up the court himself, right? The Olympics, in the Olympics, they have to play really fast, right? Because they have to use their advantage, which is their athleticism, their speed and whatnot. And you know, Trae Young, some of those guys, yes, they like to play in the open court, but I think, Maxi, these guys really thrive in half court situations, and you don't want a half court point guard on the Olympics. Um, Trey is not Steph Curry, great player, but there's only a few players in the NBA that have an X factor to them. I mean, no one plays like Steph Curry, right? A lot of people like to think that players play like Steph Curry. People do not play like Steph Curry. No one in the NBA plays like Steph Curry. Like let's just call that what it is, right? Like I think some people got it confused that because guys are shooting a whole bunch of three-pointers that means, oh, that guy's Steph Curry, and that's not the case at all. No one plays like Steph Curry off the ball. Like it's just not. It just doesn't happen. Halliburton, I would agree, is on the rise to be one of the players. And listen, even with the Halliburton take, I'm not saying Halliburton is better than any of those guys. I just think the fit and the style of play that you would need, and also the personality type of Halliburton, like I want to get everybody involved, right? That's his goal, is to get everyone involved and then shoot 40% from three. Out of that list, out of all of those guys, Trey, Ja, Maxi, Cade, LaMelo, Brunson, he's the only one that thinks like that. And when you have guys that are gonna go, right? I keep saying Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Paolo, like these guys are gonna have to get the ball. So that's just um but that's just how I envision it. I know Trey is not Steph. He's one of the few true point guards. It may be preference. I just like Trey as my lead guy more than Hallie. Also, if the offense stalls, Trey can much easily start getting flow back than Hallie. But again, it's preference. But like that's the thing though, right? Like Trey can do it. But if he's on the floor with Tatum, Edwards, like who are you gonna want to try to ISO or kind of take over the game? Right, especially when you think about how physical these other countries are going to be to someone. They're gonna play against someone like a Trae Young who's smaller. You're probably, if it were me and we're struggling, we're gonna go to Anthony Edwards or we're gonna go to Jason Tatum. That's just what we're gonna do. If that's just me personally, right? I'm not, whether it's Trae Young or Halliburton there, I'm not going to go to them. That's just me. Unless it's like a Kyrie Irving or a Steph Curry there, like I'm going to go to these other guys first. I'm just saying USA team-wise, there's only a few players that have that X factor. That's LeBron, Crane, KD, but it's gone. Be hard to replace those three X factors. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I thought that I thought Melo would be kind of hard to replace. I thought he was a staple in the Olympics, and they sort of did that. So I think we think of it like that until the moment comes, and all of a sudden we're excited about these new players, or everyone's talking about these new guys. I think time just needs to take its course, man. It just got to take its course. Well, Zach Levine was an X factor, and we didn't even look his way this time around. I think that is a big unaddressed issue with USA basketball. It's funny because Zach's game. I think his game would be perfect for the Olympics. Knockdown shooter, can cut, right? On the Olympics, I'm sure his ass is trying on defense. I think Zach Levine, on the Olympic stage, not just the FIBA stage, would actually really thrive in Olympic basketball, man. In Olympic basketball, but we'll see what happens. We're still years away. So we still have to see how Ja continues to develop. We got to see how Zion, if he can get his shit together. We got to see how Paolo Banchero develops. Tatum coming back off of injury. How Jaylen Brown develops. There's a lot of things that could happen in the next 3 years, right? What if Cooper Flag becomes that guy, right? What if, what if Dylan Harper breaks out, or Castle, or somebody, right? You just never know what could happen within the next 3 years. That could all of a sudden, we're thinking this roster is gonna be one thing, and then you turn and look, and all of a sudden it's this guy is all of a sudden taking over that position, right? So we'll see what happens. Bro, the LeBron era is really ending. Is really ending. 23 years is crazy. Who is cutting onions? Get the tissue, Savannah. Is Scotty Canada or USA? I don't know, bro. You tell me. Thompson twins may be a good look. A combo guards too. I think probably one of them makes it. I don't know if both of them make it. We got to see how Bam develops. Is there any other young big outside of Chet right now? Because Hartenstein is Germany, right? I think Hartenstein is Germany. Would Zach Edey be Team USA? Or like a Derek Lively, a Gafford? Oh, yeah. What if we got to see how Derek Lively develops, right? Because what if he's like a Tyson Chandler type of player that we could have on the team? Him, Chet could actually score and space the floor. Like, hey, that might be, hey, like, oh, Zach Edey's Canada. Oh, Derek Lively would be USA, right? So I think Derek Lively could be a good shout, right? I think that could be a great shout, honestly, if you really think about how he could fit the roster. Just grab rebounds and dunk the ball. We got everything else. Hey, look, peep, you're gonna play defense, try to block them, rebound, and dunk when the ball comes in your area, and that's all you got to do. Literally, we will figure everything else out, bro. Don't even think about nothing else. That might work out. That might work out for them. Sengun is obviously would be on a different team. Trying to think what other bigs I mean, they don't, like I said, I don't think they need to be dominant. If they're not dominant, they have to be able to rebound and play defense, right? And against Jokic, we're gonna do is throw bodies at him. We're gonna throw everything, the kitchen sink, everything we gonna throw at Jokic. And then I think someone like Luka, I think we could guard Luka, like with just the amount of people we could throw at him also. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy. If another Robert Williams comes around, we should try that. I thought he should have got a look this year. A Khalil Ware, right? they had Joel trying to be him. That was the problem. The problem wasn't that Joel was trying to be him. The problem was the dude is not healthy, bro. He's injured. Like he's been injured for the last 3 to 4 years. It's like his injuries is like business days, but in years. Like, you know how like you order a package, it'll come here in like 3 to 5 business days. This man been injured for 3 to 5 years. He's been injured for 3 to 5 business years. Like, bro. And people hate it when I say this, but when Joel Embiid plays, that dude is actually unbelievable. But that's when he plays. And that, you know, when he does that, those are far and few, if we're being 100% honest. But that is enough. That is enough Olympics talk. What else do we got for today? I gotta look over this motherfucking thing. Let me see. Oh, we gotta look at the top 100 actually. Let me see if we can find it actually. And let me pull up the top 100 list while I'm at it. All right. So the other day it went viral because Bleacher Report had posted their top 100 players of all time, and there are names that you could pull that people agree with, people don't agree with, and a lot of us, myself included, thought that the list was horseshit. But Gil had provided a different perspective on this list, and I think it's worth us having a conversation about. So let's take a look. Let's try to find it actually. Let's see.
After he won his second ring. Now, what happened since then? 11. Reference, if you go back, so he would have got into this list, like it says in reference, if you go list, ring. So if you go those 3 rings, he wouldn't have been a top 30 player yet, right? If you start looking at it like that, the next person to jump in would have been 30 players. He was the first, because we're using our eye test and our feelings for everything. If we look at the top, let's say, if you just put Oscar Robertson back to where he was, right? 9. When this list first came out in the 90s, the first person to break the top 10 was Shaquille O'Neal. Okay. Right? Yeah. He was the first person to break it. Now, if I say, all right, everyone's upset with the code. In 2004, with his 3 rings, where would he have actually been? Would he have been top 30 player in history? He wouldn't have been top 30 at that time, right? Even though he has 3 rings, because he don't have no accolades at that, because he was young when he got it, right? So those 3 rings, he wouldn't have been a top 30 player yet, right? If you start looking at it like that, the next person to jump in would have been Tim Duncan, right? So Kobe would have been the following when he won, his 4th or 5th ring, right? That's when he would have actually physically got into this list. So he would have got into this list, like it says in reference, if you go back, he was top 10 in 2011 after he won his second ring. Now, what happened since then? Got injured, right? He played a couple years, then he got injured. So he hasn't moved. He wouldn't have moved past anyone. If you really think about how the list and how he moved, the only people who came into this list since then, so since 2011, when he would have broke it with his 5th ring, the only 2 people would have been LeBron James and now Steph Curry. That's it. Right? It's not like he got to finish it. When you look at it from the stand, that's really just
I dig it. I understand.
And we go up.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
To court. And we got to bring everything we have done.
Wait, where's the
in
part?
This...
There's the part where he really talks about like the way the list is even constructed and made up. Is it over here? I'm trying to find that part.
Dort, was he ranked in the NBA?
Yeah, I'm just saying, would he be considered a top
He was
5
on the
player
all-defensive
for these points to actually be
No.
that high?
I don't even know if he's top 100
No.
right now.
Dyson Daniels. Amen.
I don't even know who that is.
Draymond Green. Evan Mobley is
We're doing a fucking
Everyone-
Gilbert Arenas watch party right now.
hates the information that is just right there, right? No one wants to, like, a list is a list. Either you're gonna say fuck the list,
What
or
do you
you
mean Raymond Felton entered later, bro?
can look at it and say, all right, how does this list even make sense? Right?
I think this
Like,
is.
I want to make sense of it so I know how you vote.
Let's listen to this because I think this part is actually really valuable.
You taught me that. Do you remember the argument? It was 6th man of the year. And I said, Cody should be 6th man, and you had young fella. And then I said, well, in the last 20 years, this happened. And you said, nigga, I said 30. Well, that 30 actually showed me something. And what it showed me was, even though the metrics I had said Kobe White, those next 10 years, the guys who won it did the same thing young fella did. And that was win an award, right? Gord, was it Dragic? Won an award, made an all-star. That's most improved. Then you had Derek Armstrong, 6th man of the year. That's most improved. Wasn't a one an all-star. So the metrics is that all those things overstepped it, and that's what I didn't see. So once you look at it and you start looking at the metrics, there's no what if. There's no bias to it in the sense of now voting it. Yeah, there's bias when I'm voting the original stuff. Like, yeah, I don't want to give you the MVP, but you can't use I should have had inside of this.
Yeah,
because there's somebody who's sitting there with 5 or 6 MVPs, and you talking about, yeah, you know, I'm better than you, and I'm like, how?
Here's the how.
These my trophies. Like,
So if who's voting for the
you want,
can we?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the right question.
No,
No.
don't matter.
Does-
Is that an accolade?
Yes, it's accolades.
But it don't matter.
Not as high as the other accolades.
Oh,
Yeah, see, I tried to give you the accolades.
I'm not fighting. You ain't try to give me.
No, I
shit.
tried so you can
Try to
understand
give
it.
me shit.
I mean,
I don't need shit.
You want to answer the question?
I told y'all this. Y'all keep battering this Kobe shit. It's
It ain't got
10
nothing
other
to do.
niggas
You
to
keep
fight
battling
for.
the Kobe shit.
10 other niggas.
We did. We said Bill.
Let me answer that they got the So since I'm the one who did the research
Understand.
that nobody likes that I did, right? And they just want to bypass that I actually sat down and
Wait,
broke it
this-
all down. I can ask you, Kenyon. First team all defense, right? You make that list. No, I'm just saying if you make that list.
Oh, if I make it.
No. Just say if you make the list. Let's just say top 5. Just say all defensive team. Is that considered? Those players on there, are they considered the best players in NBA? No, right? So somebody can be on that top 5 as a defender, but he is not considered good in the NBA,
Yes.
right? Okay. So the defense that people use is not.
Tulip plays. What's good? We're doing a little deep dive on this Bleacher Report top 100 because Gilbert Arenas gave a different perspective, man. What's good? Let's check. Let's tap into this.
Rated high in points. See, it's a point system, right? Point, which makes you good. It goes MVP first, you get the most points. MVP, most points. You're the best nigga in the league. Scoring title. Remember, scoring title is you versus everybody. It's the field.
Yeah.
That's second. First team all NBA. That's top 5 in the whole league. Second team all NBA, right? Then defensive player of the year. Then third team all. You see how many points we done went down before we got some defensive shit? When it comes to top 5 defense.
Sounds like discrediting to me.
No, I'm just saying, no. I'm saying I'm going off a point
It
system.
doesn't sound like this.
So, I get that was a lot that that they spoke about, right? They spoke about a lot of different, or I guess Gilbert Arenas spoke about a lot of different things in that segment right there, right? So, the first thing is we could try to fight the list, right? We could fight this list as much as we want. But this is the published list that everyone goes by moving forward. You can have your own list. I could put out a list and put it out on here, but this is the list that, for the most part, the world will go by. And it has been. The ESPN, like these publications that release these lists, you can say they don't matter. You can try to discredit it, but the reality is we go by those lists. And what Gilbert Arenas is exposing is there's a point system that they go by. There's a point system that these voters go by that ranks these players, right? And what he said there in the end, MVPs get you the most points. That means you are the best player in that year, or the most valuable, however you want to say it. That's you for that season. So that gives you the most points, right? All NBA first team, second most points. Second team, third most points. Defensive player of the year, and then third team, and then so on. And his point is, you can have a list of an all defensive team. If that list included Drew Holiday, Tony Allen, Shane whatever that list includes, those 5 players aren't necessarily considered the best players in the NBA. So that's why the value on all defensive teams is lower by his account. Gil, a fool. He doesn't even watch the W. He just says what his sponsors tell him to back the Golden Girl. Top 10 for the season when you've had 2 good games is diabolical. ESPN clowns. That's something that's a completely different topic, and I will say, because I watch his content a lot, he's been very consistent that he's interested in marketing Caitlin Clark. He's at least I think he's very consistent in that. But I think there's something to what Gilbert Arenas is saying, though. Right? Because when we argue these lists, when we argue these rankings, we pull up different accolades or stats or whatever benefits the person that we are rooting for, as opposed to a point system that's essentially a hard cap. And then people want to play the what if game. Like the other day, Black Canadian was saying, well, Klay Thompson isn't as great of a defender as so and so and so. So do we not value these awards at all? Like there's a fine line between, okay, maybe somebody else could have gotten it, or this person might have been more deserving, but at the end of the day, you have the award. Like, it is what it is. There's only so much we could do, and when we compare and rank everybody, we can only do it based off of actual accolades and trophies and stats. We can't do it based off of what ifs. I had to half listen, but I just was saying, I don't think history is actual history. This year, Evan Mobley wasn't a bad choice, but he was most popular. Dyson was doing historic things, which is enough. A name like Wemby, but not him. It makes me think, is history skewed with instances like this? That you could think that, but at what point like at what point do at what point do we actually value these awards and these trophies? Because now all we're doing is picking and choosing, right? Because for a player that we like, oh, they're deserving of that. They were supposed to get that. They got all NBA, all da 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 da. But then for maybe a player that you're not really a fan of, or you got no horse in the race, they didn't really deserve it, or they didn't really win it. And listen, I get that we do this sometimes, right? I get that, but I also think when it comes to rankings, we rank those certain players accordingly, right? If Rudy Gobert were to somehow get on a list and he has 3 or 4 defensive player of the years, we're gonna weigh his defensive player of the year awards differently. At least I think so. But like at the end of the day, like Elijah, you were here when Black Canadian was saying Klay's not that great of a defender. So do we just take away all of his all defensive stats? Do we just take all of that shit away? You were actual all defensive player for 4 out of the 7 times you got awarded. So we're just gonna count 4 out of the 7. Like, at what point does it become OD, or at what point does it be like, you get what I'm trying to say? We can only do that so much, because at the end of the day, like, guys won the awards, right? Like to Gilbert Arenas' point, right? Like, and I said this about LeBron James, you have the all-time points. You have the all-time points ever, because you're consistent and you're available. All of that stuff is great. How many years were you the best scorer in the league? How many years did you lead the league in points per game and or total points? Because for someone who is considering himself the all-time scorer ever, he's only done that twice, where he's led the league in points per game and or led the league in total points. LeBron James, out of the 23 years or 20 some years he's played, twice in any given year was he the best individual scorer. And listen, I get Tulip, help a brother out. Klay hasn't been that guy in years, but he's still an okay defender. Oh shit, breaking news. I'm going straight to Shams. I'm going straight to Shams. What happened? Oh shit. Breaking 3-time NBA All-Star Bradley Beal has agreed to a contract buyout with the Phoenix Suns and plans to join the Los Angeles Clippers on a 2-year, $11 million deal with a player option after clearing waivers. So that is the breaking news. This was reported. This has been a rumor for a little while now, right? Excuse me. Even I said this after the Norman Powell trade. Like, does this open up the Bradley Beal deal? And yeah, it took a little bit of time, but clearly it has. Bron to Raptors. Oh brother, whatever. Is Beal gonna be more effective than Norman Powell for the Clips? It's easy to say no, right? Because Norman Powell, right, played that role so well. But there was no actual point guard on the Phoenix Suns. James Harden is an actual point guard, and Bradley Beal at one point in time was a 28 point per game scorer in this league. He could really shoot the shit out the ball. Hopefully he's healthy. Hopefully he's been working out, because if that's the case, they might forget that Norman Powell was there, right? They might forget. Now, I will say Norman Powell is a superstar in his role. He does an unbelievable job at his role. So that is very different, right? That is very different. Maybe Bradley Beal has kind of gotten accustomed to this over the last year or two, but this could work out. This really could work out, considering Bradley Beal can shoot. James Harden actually plays point guard. And Bradley Beal's got to be hungry to prove everyone wrong in the league. So on top of that, I think Norman Powell's also in a good spot because he's going to want to show out as well too. So we'll see what happens. The Clippers might be decent. They're kind of scary. I mean, they were decent this year too. And we're also kind of scary. I was picking them early in the playoffs. I was like, man, these guys could really upset a team, but we'll see what happens. Good pickup though. I'm interested to see when he played with Russ. I still was a little disappointed. No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not saying Bradley Beal is the greatest player in the world, but one, he's getting his bread, right? So he's not going to be worried about anything financially because he's getting his bread plus the 2-year $11 million deal. So he's getting even more bread. But if you're Bradley Beal, it's demon time. How old is he? Bradley Beal is 31. Wait. He averaged 30? Wait, am I blasted? He averaged 30 twice? The fuck? Nah, bro. Do you see this? I must be seeing things. 30.9 over 2 years in Washington. The year before that, 25, 22, 23. You know, this is what, and this is when he was 23 to 27. Obviously, different player now, a little bit of a different player now. But this is the player people are hoping. This is what Phoenix was hoping to get, right? They were hoping to get this guy, right? This is the player they were hoping for, but obviously didn't turn out that way for them. And that's the player that if you're the Clippers, that's what you're hoping for as well too. But 43% last season, you know, if you're the Clippers, you're gonna want him to be in the 40s, right? This when he was with John Wall, he was shooting a much better clip from the 3-point line. So that's the Bradley Beal you'd want. If Bradley Beal is at 24 a game, shooting 40% from 3, James Harden gets his 20 and 11. I think the Clippers have a great year. Now, will that happen? I have serious doubts. If point a gun in my head right now, I would say probably not. I don't think that's going to be their averages by the end of the season. But if Bradley Beal is at 24 and 40% shooting from 3, James Harden is at like 20, 21, 22, and like 11, the Clippers will have an excellent season. But talk about some breaking news. What were we talking about before? Bro, I'm blacked out. I don't even know. Let's see. Let me see. There was another thing that I had. I think Shams had it also.
injury occur.
Let's see. Let's take a look at this.
When exactly did this injury occur, and how will it impact the rest of PG's offseason here?
Malik, I'm told Paul George suffered the injury during an on-court workout last week, and it led to him visiting a doctor on Friday. And the decision was made to undergo arthroscopic surgery because the doctors felt like this would be an injury that would linger for a player that was never healthy all last year. Paul George's season ended rehabbing from injections on groin and knee injuries. He had a finger injury during the season as well. And so now he starts rehab for this knee injury, and he will be reevaluated at the start of this upcoming training camp. But I am told both sides will be cautious with him. They want to see Paul George return to that full form Paul George they just have not seen in Philadelphia. So I do expect both sides to be cautious from this injury that Paul George suffered last week.
Okay, so this is essentially so that they can hopefully see that full strength Paul George that we're all waiting for in Philadelphia that never quite came to fruition. When exactly?
Brother, I don't remember the last time Paul George was healthy. Like, at what point? Like, at what point? I mean, they always got her on TV, gang. I'm mad we trying to act like this is a surprise. Like, I think she's also, she has some weird takes, I'm not gonna lie. But what do the 76ers do? Listen. I don't want to. I mean, I do want to, actually. I do want to give myself some self-gas, right? Because I put this out. Let me see. When did I put this out? Look, I put this out 7 months ago. I put this out 7 months ago about how the Philadelphia 76ers have been cursed since 2002, stemming back to Allen Iverson and the way that they treated him. And ever since then, I believe that the basketball gods have looked at the Philadelphia 76ers and said, no. Ever since 2002, because of the way the Philadelphia 76ers treated Allen Iverson, I believe that the basketball gods have given a big fuck you to Philadelphia. They've teased them with players that should be all time. They gave them Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler at some point joined them. James Harden was there, right? But mainly when it comes to Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, they teased these guys with all-time, possibly all-time players. And injuries, weird things have happened. Every player that has come through there, all of a sudden, Paul George is getting injured in a summer workout, trying to come back after a year full of injuries. If you tell me this team is not cursed, then I got it. Like, there must be a foot up my ass, because there's just no way. This team is 100% cursed, bro. These guys are cursed. And I said it 7 months ago. And it's still true. I don't know what they got to do to break it, but they got to do some other shit. I'm pretty sure the statue that they had of Allen Iverson, that little miniature one, the one that looked like a Labubu, that little mini statue of Allen Iverson, that probably added to the curse, right? The time, they were probably closing in on the curse ending, and it just added time on it, because the fucking idiots. The Sixers deal with it, see it through, take the blame, wait a couple years till contracts are up, people are fired, money is paid. They've retried the process. I said for at least 3 years that they need to trade Joel definitely before his MVP season. Now They're stuck. I said PG was crazy as hell, and the league should check him. Philly gave him the money and made their bed. Yeah, no, these guys are cursed. I genuinely think these guys are cursed, bro. Like these guys are cursed, bro. And then what? And then they did some shit too. Like Lou Williams. This is a famous story from Lou Williams because they had gotten rid of Allen Iverson already, right? Philadelphia 76ers. So Lou Williams had started, and he was cooking. He was averaging like 20 something. And then Philly was like, yo, because I think Lou Williams had gotten injured while he was there. And then they were bringing back Allen Iverson. So Lou Williams coming back from injury, even though he was the guy killing on the team, they said it would be a bad look for us to have Allen Iverson come off the bench in Philadelphia. So you got to come off the bench, young fella. And Lou Williams said yes and was stuck in that role for the rest of his career. So in every decision that Philly has made, and then I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, I think they fucked over Allen Iverson after bringing him back also. It's just a lot of weird shit that Philly has done over the years. And I'm not going to say that they are necessarily paying the price, because whether they win or lose, genuinely at this point, I don't think they give a fuck. The fans are the ones that are really paying the price at this point. The fans are the ones that are really paying the price for the things that this organization has done. So that sucks. That sucks for sure. That sucks for sure. But another injury, another day, another injury. And now they're stuck with Paul George. Now they're stuck with him, man. Like, that fucking sucks, bro. Let's see what else we got. As a Raptors fan, the Who is comedy for me. No, they really are comedy, bro. There really is comedy. Did y'all see this? Yo, this has gotta be, forget the dunk. This has gotta be one of the most insane things I have ever seen in my entire life. And now, for the rest of his life, this will follow him. That is insane, bro. We gotta run that back. Why? Like, why? Why, bro? Why? He busting. He definitely did, bro. Oh, she got that fire. Holy shit. There's never a situation where you need to jump and make that face. That boy may never even make it in China off that. Boy better try Africa. They gonna fry him in Africa. Yo, hell no. I'm not going to Africa. I don't know how they make fun of people over there. They start throwing rocks at me, I'm gonna be tight. Yo, making that face is insane. Under no circumstance should you ever make that face, bro. There is just absolutely no reason to ever make that face, man. Just none. There's just no reason, bro. Absolutely no reason to be making that face. That is some insane shit. Did you see Karen being Karen yesterday? Wait, what do you mean? It's passion, they say, but it's others. It's ghetto and thuggish. The racial overtones and undertones are gross. Speedy recovery, but has to humble herself. What are you talking about? Wait, what happened? Let me pull it up. If it's not OD, what happened? Was Caitlin Clark? Who has impressed me most in Summer League? Dylan Harper's athleticism, I thought, was really surprising for me. I thought Dylan Harper's athleticism, I think the San Antonio Spurs are going to be in a really weird spot. I think the Spurs are, I think they're in a weird spot, right? Because the San Antonio Spurs got De'Aaron Fox, right, to be the point guard to go with Wemby. But it's possible, right? It's possible that these guys could be just as good, or at least fit Wemby maybe a little bit better because of their defense and their athleticism, and they're a little bit bigger than, let's say, than like a De'Aaron Fox. So the weird thing about this De'Aaron Fox situation is, do you run the year and run the risk of maybe having to trade him a year from now, or do you do the weird thing and trade him now and try to get some assets and really build this team for that'll battle for the next 5-6 years? It's a tough spot that I think the Spurs are in because their guards are all really talented. She crashed out at the ref for no reason, arrogantly told him to come here with her finger, got no tech for it, then pulled her groin trying to get a double-double in the game with 40 seconds left versus a 3-19 team. All right, let me pull it up. Excuse me. It's on ESPN. Can we give my boy Derpy a sub? Can we get him can we get my boy to 100? Can we get him to 100? And let's watch this. Let's react to this from last night's game.
Long range, I would guess, instilling some confidence in her. I'm sure it must be frustrating for someone who, makes shots with her eyes closed, to be going through a stretch like this.
Yeah, the best scorer ever in college basketball, and it doesn't even sound right. Again, she is tonight, Caitlin Clark 0 for 4 from 3. So on the road this season, Caitlin Clark is a combined 1 for 32 from three-point range. Very unusual. She's hot. Breon January having to hold her back. We'll take a timeout.
Wait,
The Sun are challenging the last.
Is there more to this?
That may have gone off of Natasha Howard right here. It looked like her hand was on the end,
but the ball was upset. January on the staff. And that's a live shot now. Indiana on January, who is played 9 years in Indiana and now on the staff. And that's a live shot now of Caitlin Clark, who is still upset and wants an explanation from Michael Price.
Yo, can we not get some copyrighted ass music, bro? What the fuck is going on?
Don't want to speculate, but she's very upset. Yeah.
Clark tonight with 5 points. Does have 6-5 against an all challenge. Barnett looked like he was ready to go.
All right. The finger definitely was disrespectful. And told them to grow up also. And also told them to grow up. So not only did she say, not only is not only did she do the finger, but she said grow up. I will say, when she reacted to it originally, the ref had to have said something, because she literally said that has nothing to do with it. So I'm curious as to what the ref said that caused her if I'm just curious what the ref said to her in that moment. She's such a spaz. The finger is disrespectful. That music is loud. The arrogance is wild. She's above the law. No text for all that. I'm gonna be honest. If you watch NBA podcasts, it's not that bad. But I'm critical on Angel, so I need to hold CC accountable too. I will say, let me see if I can pull this up. The ref probably said fix your shooting, LOL. She's like 2 of 45 from 3 on the road. But we do have to be fair that we don't know what he said. What if the ref did say something out of line? Okay, Tulip plays. If the ref did say something that was out of line or just had something that had nothing to do with the play, would you look at how she reacted differently? Genuine question. If we know word for word exactly what the referee had said to her that caused that reaction, would you potentially feel differently about that? Just curious. Just curious. Because she is obviously whether you like it or not, or I like it or not, or anyone likes it or not, she is the face of the WNBA. She is the cash cow. Angel Reese too. And we'll get to Angel Reese in just 1 second. But Caitlin Clark is the cash cow, and we've seen, even in the NBA, we've seen special treatment before, like with the like when Michael Jordan was with that one referee, it's just a part of sports, unfortunately, right? It just is.
But he didn't touch it with both hands. That's the thing. You think so, Michael? 55 hits, 2 to come. Michael, I didn't see 2 hands on him, Michael.
But I believe
you. But I believe you. I saw one. I only saw the one hand on him. Michael, he never.
But I believe you. Like, it's just it's a part of it. And this isn't Angel Reese's fault, right? Because I agree with you. I think they drag the stuff that she does, right? I think they really drag it. They are teeing her up off of reputation, right? They're teeing her up off of reputation. And honestly, it's a reputation that I don't even think is warranted. But listen, this is the WNBA is Caitlin Clark's, is I think what I'm getting at, and this kind of proves it right here. Let's take a look at this, because I remember this is like from a week and a half ago.
To be completely honest, I love my team. I think they're great. I don't have any intentions of really trading any of them. I don't know if this is in the rules. I don't really care. But I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. Fee's going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello. Let's get it. It's going to be amazing. Sorry, WNBA, if that's not in the rule. Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules. But we just made it a rule. So, Sandy Brondello, come on over.
Whoa.
Let's get to it. You can coach Sabrina. So therefore, maybe Stewie wants to come on over to my team.
Whoa.
Let me know. Fee, you want to give me Stewie?
We have breaking news here. I don't know that I've heard of a coach.
Wait, hold on. Let's just keep it a bug. She just said, I don't know if this is a rule and I don't care. Like, they bend over backwards for her, just make up rules to help her. The arrogance as well. Okay, but let's keep it real. Is that her fault? That they are bending over backwards for her? Is that really her fault at the end of the day? Like, she's just doing her thing. I just don't think it's necessarily her fault. And I think a lot of this is the WNBA is trying to protect their investment, which is obviously Caitlin Clark. And we've seen it happen in sports before. I think more so than Caitlin Clark. I'm not saying it is. I'm blaming Kathy and these soft ass refs. I do agree. There's a level to, like, I'm sure some folks, some sports fans really probably look at this situation like she needs to earn it, but they are in a very unique spot where Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese really were the turning point for this league. Right? They really were the turning point for this league. So they can't be treated regularly. They can't be treated normally. And I just wanted to bring up this conversation when it comes to the WNBA, right? And I think this is where there might be a little bit of a disconnect, right? The first year of the WNBA was 1997. Right? 1997. We are, what? That's like 10, 20. We're like 28 years into the WNBA. Right? So this is a very, by sports leagues, it's a young league. It's a very young league. The problem is it's in its 28th year in 2025. Right? It's not in its 28th year in 1975. Right? Because I think there is a disconnect, and some people, we just got to remember that this needs to be given time to grow and develop. You got to realize the WNBA has never had a Caitlin Clark or an Angel Reese. They've never had a player of this level of popularity. So they are trying to, in my opinion, balance all of the publicity, good and bad, while also trying to crisis manage, I guess, for lack of a term. Because, like I said, I think a lot of this needs to get built out in terms of the infrastructure for the league when it comes to the security and the safety of these women, right? People were talking about charter planes. How about the hotels? What hotels are they going to? How good are these hotels? What security is around them, right? All of these things matter. And I think that the WNBA is just gonna take time to develop. And I think the storytelling and the narrative is a part of that. Right, is a part of that. She pulled her groin in the last 40 seconds of the game. She will miss the All-Star weekend, I believe. And I think that might be why she's been trying to play. She's trying to be a part of the All-Star festivities, and it's obviously hurting her and the team in the long run. But this is really what I wanted to bring up. I'm not gonna pull the tweet up. I'm not gonna pull the tweet up because I don't want to give it more light than it already has. I don't want to give this more light than it already has. So let's pull up this Shaq video who's responding to RG3. Wait, what? The fuck? But why did this shit just get muted? Wait, am I blasted? Why is this muted? Wait, why is this? Oh, I was like, what the fuck? Wait, why is this muted, bro?
Tweet another monkey post about my girl Angel Reese. I'm punching your fucking face. Okay? It's enough. Like, I don't usually do stuff like this, but just stop it, bro. You got your job, you got your podcast, leave my Angel Reese alone. I'm the one calling her and telling her not to respond. Fucking stop it. That's the last time. Okay? Thank you. Sorry about that. RG.
And they need her to be, isn't it this weekend? Yeah. RG3 is attention-seeking. Shaq is a clown. No, Elijah, I look into this. RG3 is a clown. RG3 is a clown. And he could have tweeted about this without adding the photo on there. I didn't even realize that the photo was on there. It flashed very quickly. But I think he tried. Let me try to see if I could even read this tweet. He said, "All right, guys, this has got to stop. There's no place for racism in the world. Whether you like a player or not, Angel Reese should never be called or depicted as a monkey. I have been quiet on the Angel Reese front because she shared a video that aided in my wife, kids, family, and friends receiving death threats, threats of physical harm to my family and friends, and threats of sexual violence to my children on social media and beyond. That will never be okay with me. I never attacked her or family when I stated and backed up with clear basketball evidence that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. It's sports. Everybody won't like each other. People in Angel's inner circle called me and told me I was right, and Angel Reese has grown to hate Caitlin Clark because of the media always asking her about Caitlin and being constantly compared to her. Some people made it about race, but I never did and never will. Instead of becoming the villain in anyone's story, I decided to just not." This guy's a clown. Like, you could have tweeted about the scenario without putting the photo up and without adding all that other shit about death threat. Like, it was just unnecessary. It was just unnecessary. And I'm gonna try to have a good conversation about this, because Shaq is constantly attacked and altered players' careers because they were good young big men. Now he's gonna punch someone in their face. I think this one is well deserved, though. It's a race topic. Do your research on this one. I'm gonna look it up now. I think it's sort of what you said earlier, Tulip Plays, actually. I get that there is a certain level of star treatment for Caitlin Clark, right? That part, I think that's just sports, right? Some people are gonna hate it, some people are gonna love it. Caitlyn fans think it's passion. People that don't like Caitlyn think it's her, being a crybaby. It's sports, right? We see the same thing happening in the NBA all the time. What I don't like when it comes to Angel Reese is, okay, you can make fun of the rebounds, right? No. Well, okay, Elijah, what happened was, because you know how Angel Reese is on the cover of the new 2K26, right? Angel Reese is on the cover of the new 2K26, which, by the way, much deserved. She's having a great year. Someone had edited a photo of a monkey onto the cover of 2K26, essentially trying to say that it's Angel Reese. And that's what Robert Griffin III had posted about, and that's what I had just read about. And that is what Shaq responded to, saying, don't post her, don't post that photo, or I'm gonna punch you in the face. That's the gist of what's going on. You can go to Robert Griffin III's Twitter. I'm not gonna put it up just because I don't want to have the photo up. I think it's disrespectful. Yeah, for sure. I just think that it's the praise got to be just as loud as the criticism, right? And I think this is something that, unfortunately, Angel Reese, and we've seen other players have to deal with this too, right? I'm not saying it's fair, but Angel Reese, unfortunately, has to act a certain way, right? When she's super demonstrative or animated, people don't look at it as passion. Most people don't look at it as passion. Let's just call it what it is, right? So, and to Angel Reese's credit, I think she has done an incredible job of being less emotional this season, of being less. She's always going to be physical. She's always going to talk shit. That's always going to be a part of her game. But some of the extra stuff, I feel like she knows and understands, right? She's got to do a little bit less of it. She's doing all of her social media stuff. Great. It's great. She's marketing herself great. But unfortunately, right, on the court and in some of these spaces, she can't just curse somebody out because somebody will look at her a certain way. It's just the unfortunate truth. We're seeing the same thing with Draymond Green. Anytime Draymond does anything, it's looked at under a microscope, and it doesn't get looked at as passion or effort, right? It gets looked at as something else. It's just the sad reality. And I think Angel Reese is adjusting to it, right? And like I said, the great thing about her, everybody questioned her skill. Everybody questioned whether she would get better at X, Y, and Z. All of her numbers are up, right? Her points and her rebounds are a little bit down, but that's because her field goal percentage is higher. Assists are up. Everything else is up. So you have to give her credit, because between the Instagram posts and going out to the Met Gala, she's clearly in the gym working out, right? She's clearly in the gym working out. So you got to give her that credit, because that's really, still, Shaq should just shut up. I mean, he's kind of, he's actually like in Reebok, and he's like in a mentorship role when it comes to Angel Reese. So you know, he's doing what he needs to do when it comes to protecting her, as he should, right? As he should. I personally think, I get that. Hopefully we're past that. That was just a little moment. But I think the WNBA could do a better job of marketing Angel Reese. I think Angel Reese has done a great job of marketing Angel Reese. I think the WNBA can do a better job of marketing her. Because, one, she needs help on that team. It's funny because when you watch the Chicago Sky, they could use like she could use a Kelsey Mitchell on that team to help her out because they are struggling. So they can do a much better job of, I think, pushing and marketing and promoting Angel Reese because she is a superstar. Her and Caitlin Clark are superstars, right? They make this shit move, right? Caitlin Clark is a huge part of it, but so is Angel Reese, right? Whether you think Caitlin Clark is more of an impact, to me it don't matter because Angel Reese is also a big impact. So you got to give her her credit. You got to give her her shine the same way we're doing with Caitlin Clark. And you know, I think, like what I was saying earlier, I think these are just growing pains for the sport. Like I like that's just the reality of it right now. The NBA, the NFL, they went through this already in the 50s, 60s, I guess for NFL even earlier. Right? And the unfortunate thing for the WNBA is you're dealing with these racial undertones with this person is like this and this person is like that in an era where everyone is allowed to have an opinion and everyone's allowed to voice it on social media. Right? It's one of those things where, like, God damn, I wish they would have went through this way earlier so that we could have gone through this already and they would have been out the other side. But unfortunately, the 28th year of the WNBA is happening in 2025. Right? That is just the unfortunate part of it. And we're just seeing in real time what I think people like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and some of those guys had to deal with, you know, probably on a worse scale, right? In that time. But I think I think what will happen eventually is someone like Angel Reese, Aja Wilson, Caitlin Clark, I think they will be celebrated. Paige Becker is the way that she's so outspoken. They will be celebrated later on, which is what I'm at least hoping for. Can we have an Angel Reese breakdown soon? Like, I was watching the game. I was actually watching the game earlier. It's funny, Tulip plays. When I tuned in, I was like, "Wait, is that right? That shit says 35-13." That shit said 13. It looked crazy. Can we have an Angel Reese breakdown soon? Like, I can see she is obviously good, but is the skill level lower in the WNBA? She is better than Jalen Duren, but I feel like her playstyle / production, etc., is a Jalen Duren of the NBA, and he is a good young big, but not a face of the league or top 15. A breakdown would help me understand better. Yeah, we could do that. Jason, she missed today's game. Yeah. She's been hooping recently, like a mix of Charles Barkley and Draymond. Point for a role has unlocked her. I see Dre too. See, this is the thing. This is the thing, Elijah. The reason why I didn't like that comparison, right? You gotta compare Angel Reese to the people she's against, right? Like, compared to NBA players, if you're thinking of an NBA player in terms of their skill, how smooth their movements are, right? It's totally different. Like, when you watch a Juju Watkins, right? What makes her so different and unique is all of the movements look so smooth, like the snappy. We've never seen anything like that, right? You know, we're now seeing the girls that are playing basketball from when they're 8, 9, 10 years old. So all of the handle, it's smooth, right? It's super smooth. And it's not like that for the entire WNBA. There are players that are very good and very skilled and smooth in the game, but most of the league is not Aja Wilson and Breanna Stewart, right? Most of the WNBA, that's not what they are. The WNBA, that's why I was saying they're in their 28th season. Their game is still as if like the 70s game for the NBA. That's why I keep saying that's why I keep giving that time frame. Their game isn't where the NBA game is in 2025. That's why Caitlin Clark is such an anomaly, right? Because their game as of right now is still like a 1960s, 1970s NBA. And in that, if you think about that game, Angel Reese is dominant. Angel Reese is one of the best players in the league. And if you think about it in that way, compared to everyone in her field. Yes, her skill level on offense is not there yet. But compared to everyone else that's not Aja Wilson or Breanna Stewart, she can catch up. Right? She can catch up. Her rebounds naturally is better than everybody else's. Her defense and motor is unbelievable. So honestly, and then the other part in it too, right? We were talking about their team earlier. If she gets a guard, I'm pretty sure she averages 20 and 12, 20 and 13 pretty easily. Like if she gets a good guard that can get her easy buckets, if she hits like a 3 or 2 a game, Angel Reese will easily average 20 and 12. And then people will be like mind blown because they're like, oh my God, she's like a 15, 14, 16, 17 point per game scorer. No, she will easily score 20 with a good guard by her. Easily. 20 and 12, you could book that. Like you could book that. She might have a 20-20, 25-25 game and everybody will be mind blown. Like that's how good she is compared to the field. Angel is one of one. No W player is like her. You think Haley coming back is going to hurt Angel or help? Okay, that's what I was thinking. I'm not even an Angel or a Sky fan. I'm an LA Sparks fan. Would love her on my team. The defense, rebounding, and secondary playmaking is exactly needed. I mean, she could use a Kelsey Plum. She could use a Kelsey Mitchell. Like some of these players, you put her next to Angel Reese. Angel is getting 20 and 12 a game. I am telling you. I don't know if Haley is gonna. I don't think it'll hurt Angel. I don't think it'll hurt Angel. I think they need all of the help that they can get on that team. And on the opposite side, because we were talking about Caitlin earlier, it's crazy because I think her team is better this year, but she's just been hurt so much that their record and her performances obviously haven't shown it. So it's just like a real odd year. Angel Reese is having a hell of a year. Her team sucks. Caitlin Clark is having a awful year. Her team should be a lot better, but they're not. I think they're 10 and 12 right now on the year, right? I think they're 10 and 12 on the year, but yeah, if you think about it in that sense, Angel Reese is for sure. She's absolutely one of the best players in the league. Absolutely, there's nothing they could do with her. And like I said, with the way the game is more catered to the big man in the WNBA, it makes her even more valuable, right? It's not this guard heavy, everyone shooting a bunch of threes type of league. They're posting players up, right? Like you go to the Liberty, we're posting up Breanna Stewart and Jonquel Jones. Like it's not Sabrina shooting a whole bunch of threes all game long. We're posting up our bigs. Right? So it's just a totally different game that they have. And in this game, Angel Reese is super valuable. Now, obviously, if the WNBA was more like the NBA now, right? Where you need stretch fours, stretch fives. You know, your bigs aren't just rebounding and getting layups. Like, they got to be able to shoot and score and put the ball on the floor. Obviously, I think that would change the value on Angel Reese, but that's just not the case, right? That's just not the case. In this WNBA, she is extremely valuable. And I think, honestly, she's gonna have that off the court impact, right? I think it's so funny, the contrast of who she is off the court and on the court. I think it's something that they should really push, about having those two personalities, being the woman in the dress off the court versus this tough, rough, I'm gonna get rebounds, I'm gonna do the dirty work, I'm gonna get layups, I'm gonna like they're two opposites, right? You know, and I think there's definitely multiple ways that they could try to market her and do a better job of doing so. But yeah, man. Wait, is this?
Here's Don.
Wait, is this really? No, nobody describes or breaks down what you are right now. I appreciate that, bro. I hope it made sense the way that I was explaining that. But that's why, like I said, that's why I kept saying earlier, they're in their 28th season, right? I think the issue is, because we're in 2025 and the WNBA is in their 28th year, some people expect them to be the NBA when the NBA is nearing their 80th year of having a professional league, right? The 80th season versus the 28th season, right? Two totally different timelines, right? If you want to compare it, look at the NBA in their 28th year. Salaries are probably a lot closer than what it is compared to right now. Some of the problems that they're dealing with when it comes to infrastructure, building out popularity, right? Like, you got to think, when it comes to the NBA, up until Magic, Bird, and then obviously Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan, it was not a popular sport, right? It took Magic and Larry to take the NBA to the next level. And I think the WNBA is seeing the same thing, and they're trying to recreate it, right? But again, that happened in like 1969, 1970. Versus it happening for the WNBA in 2025, where everyone has a phone, everyone can post everyone can post everything, right? As opposed to back then, right? So it's just it's hard to compare. You have to compare it with the times as opposed to what the NBA is right now and what's going on right now. I think when you do it like that, you just get a much better idea, and you get a much better picture of what the WNBA is and where they could be heading. Because the way it's set up right now, like, we have, right, Caitlin, Angel Reese is kind of like Bird and Magic. I don't know who you would compare Paige Beckers to, but then Juju is almost kind of like the Michael Jordan. Like, we have never seen anything like her before. So that's what I'm picturing. What's going on with the league? You know, when Magic and Larry came in, there was already a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right? Like, Wilt and Bill Russell already been through there. There was already Oscar Robertson, and this, that, and the third. And the WNBA kind of has the same thing going, right? It'll take time, but I think the sport is gonna blow up. Now, is this real? FIBA basketball from 3 weeks ago? Okay. Oh my God, I thought this was from this year. they're showing some Luka highlights on Slovenia. I'm like, huh? I'm like, this fool is playing? How is this not everywhere? I was like, there is absolutely no way, man. Rickea Jackson is getting back to her best now. Shot 9 of 13 yesterday. Wow, that's impressive. 9 of 13. Let's see, what games do we actually have later? 86-49 is fucking insane. Oh yeah, Indiana plays the Liberty tonight. Let's see what happens with that. Wait, we gotta give Juju the MJ. Okay, there you go. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking too. Wait, do we gotta give? Wait, actually, before we get out of here, we'll have this conversation too, because the Valkyries they're the expansion team in the W this year, and they are currently, they're what? They're 10-10. They're 10-10 on the league, on the season. So not the absolute worst team that you could have, right? Not the worst teams that you could have. But there were reports of more teams joining in as on these expansions. What do you guys think of that? More players, more teams. Do you guys think that's good for the league? Do you guys think that's bad for the league? Is it too soon, or is this just a good thing because that means we're gonna have more players, right? More talent that we're gonna see. We're gonna see more games. Personally, I think it's good only because the Valkyries have shown that they can compete. So hopefully these teams can compete. If they're going to be doormats for the rest of the league, I don't love it. I think competition is good, but I am wary. I am wary that they might be doing things a little bit too early as of right now. Raptors Summer League team over 2 games forced 63 turnovers, 84 points off of them, and 51 points on the break. I wanted to mention it earlier, but I had to find the stats. Detroit up. Man, you know Summer League don't fucking matter. I wish Cooper Flag got out there just to hoop some more. Just to get reps in. I'll never forget the first time I played organized basketball, and I tried to make a move to my right. I was on the right wing, and I tried to make the move to my right, thinking there was space, because when you play pickup when you play pickup, like, shit don't matter. But when you play in an organized game and people try to be in the right spot, the first time I played an organized basketball game and I was like, wait, there is no space on the floor, I was mind blown. I was trying to do a 1 dribble pull. I was trying to do a 2 dribble pull up when all I could do was a 1 dribble pull up. Like, it was so crazy. And I had to adjust to it. So, for Cooper Flag, obviously it's not the NBA guys that he's playing against, but I definitely think that Cooper Flag would have benefited just from seeing the spacing and seeing what moves he can do, before going into the league. I just think it would have been much better. It's a speed build, cash grab, watering down the product and inflating stats. I mean, not for nothing, Tulip plays, not for nothing. I mean, you might not like that, but if we're seeing some more inflated stats, I don't think that's a bad thing, right? In terms of pushing this, in terms of pushing the league forward, right? Seeing players get 50 balls, seeing players get over 1,000 points in the league and have those be headlines, I think there is value to that. Obviously it'll change the way the history books are written, but if we get more games and more basketball, I think it's a good thing at the end of the day. All the new teams will be in the East too, so Golden Girl can drop 30 on them and inflate her stats. But it's not just her. Like Paige Beckers could go off on them. Angel Reese can go have a 30-30 game. Like, you know, he needed to play. I don't know if he needed to. I think it would have been nice to, but we understand why that's not the case. But let me see, man. Is there anything else that we have here? Let's double check Shams' Twitter. Chris Livingston, not super familiar. Let's check the NBA Reddit thread. Let's see. Let's hit a refresh on this. There's a new Thunder Arena coming 2028. What the fuck? They're just throwing money down the drain right now. What'd you say? Nah, he needed to play. He's young and he needs reps. It's a long season, but it's good to get confidence and get his stride going again. Yeah, but most top picks are only playing 2 games at most for the most part. It's like a part of the. It's just a part of the process. It would have been nice to see him hoop more, but he's not going to. Let's see this, man. Let's see this. Also, it creates more mentality. Sitting him makes him potentially more passive. I don't think so. East teams play each other 4 to 5 times, and West teams only 3. Oh, that's tough. Don't like the dog talk, but it's good to have the Warriors in the org. CMB better play most because he sat one already. Yeah, that's facts. Bro, what the fuck am I watching? Can we see some shit already, though? Wait, is this the 2K My Career? They took renderings from My Career. What the fuck is this? That's got to be some copyrighted music, right? There's just no way. So these are the renders for the new stadium for the OKC Thunder. What the hell is this, man? This is the rendering? What you guys think? This is fire? This section look kind of heat, I can't lie. This section look kind of heat. Wait. Okay, so this is what the vibe is. There's why the fuck did they render this shit on a PS2, bro? What the fuck? Yo, that's what I was thinking. These dudes just spent $800 million in contracts and like another $1 billion on a new stadium. Are these guys good? We need to check their books, bro. There might be some money laundering going over there. What the fuck? Yo, where is this cash coming from? I think we need to check if OKC is hiring, bro. Are they hiring? We got to check if the Thunder are hiring. What the hell? What the helly? Payroll coordinator, video and graphics edit. Bro, we might need to go get hired over there. They are throwing cash. Chat Holmgren just got 250 on 15 and 10. I'm a mediocre streamer. They might spend a bag. Cam Brink is back, end of the month. She plays like Pels AD with the floor spacing upside and elite defense and shot blocking. Oh yeah, she's gonna be back by the end of the year. That end of the month. That'll be exciting to watch. They do know they gotta pay for everything they're doing. Nah, you know what they're gonna do, Elijah? You know what's about to happen? They probably no. This was about to happen, Elijah. They're gonna get reevaluated in like another year or two because it's gonna take 3 years for this stadium to get built. They're gonna sell this team before they're gonna sell this team. This team is gonna get sold by like 2028, 2029. Trust. This team is getting sold. This team is getting sold before those contracts are over. There is gonna be an entirely new ownership that is gonna inherit the $1.5 billion expense that these guys just made in a month span. Hey, I see the vision, man. I see the vision. They got their one ring, they stole their one ring, and they spent a bag, and they are out of there. They're out of there. I think that's what's happened. They're gonna sell this team, man. This team is sold. They're gonna sell the Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook history, James Harden. They're gonna sell this ring, the new arena, Shea. That's what they're gonna sell the new owner on, and it's done. This team is sold. You might as well put sold. Hey, if I'm right, clip this. If I'm right, clip this, motherfucker. This shit gonna be sold by 2029. This is somebody else's headache. They gonna start looking at the check like, we paying him $900,000 a game. we paying Shea $1 million a game? Oh hell no, we can't keep doing that. Oh hell no. Yo, if you thought Shea's outfits was crazy, this man is about to get paid $1 million a game. Think about that. If he plays 70 games, he gets paid $1 million a game. Who else just threw a bag? Milwaukee, and hey, wait, hold on. I don't ever want to hear a small market team complain about money. I don't want to hear it. I never want to hear a small market team complain about money. We just witnessed the Oklahoma City Thunder spend $800 million in contract, and now they're building a new stadium. We just saw the Milwaukee Bucks say, we're going to pay Damian Lillard $20-something million a year to not play for us. I never want to hear anything about small market teams not having money. Y'all fucked it up. I don't ever want to hear about small market teams not having money after what I just witnessed. There's just no way. What the fuck? NBA players can't dress worth a damn. Melo, CP3, Jalen Brunson, Jokic, they dress nice. I think Shea be getting fly. I think Nikhil Alexander, I think some of these guys be getting fresh. Y'all would hate some of the outfits I'll be stepping out in. I promise you. Facts, teams just throw money away. Doesn't matter who teams have no discipline. Yeah, but I'm more these small market teams have been bitching and moaning about we can't get players. We don't got, y'all got money. I don't want to hear it. Every player don't want to be in a big ass city. Pay somebody. That's not our fault. Go figure it out. The fuck? Nah, I'm never hearing that shit no more. But we gonna hit 2 hours again. Damn, son, we've been putting out some. Now we need fit checks. Nah. First of all, it's too hot. First of all, that's my cop out right now. It's too hot. It's too hot. It's too hot right now. I got this. Hey, I got this long ass trench coat, bro. Y'all would tweak if y'all see me in it. They gave Dev $70 million a year. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, these small markets got money, man. Don't let them fool you. They just trying to pocket everything. That's just a narrative they've been trying to push. They got money. They got money. We just seen it. They could have got Jonathan Simmons, Brook Lopez, and D'Lo for that much. No facts, but D-Book is their guy. He's not leaving. I would never leave Phoenix also. Dame should have just stayed in Portland, bro. He be getting paid right now. He be getting paid right now. Franz Wagner, yeah, somebody gonna have to call those guys, man. Yeah, why would you? Because if you're an NBA owner, if you could be mediocre, but you still make your X amount of $1 million a year without investing more into it, why would you? Why would you? That the basketball fan in us is like, motherfucker, spend more money, go get a better team, da 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 da. As a businessman, that is bad business. I'm gonna spend an additional $20-30 million to maybe win more. Not guaranteed we win more. Maybe we win more. But then after that, we gotta pay for a whole fucking parade. Yeah, fuck all that. Yeah, fuck all that. Fuck all that if I'm a team. Low key. Low key. But hey man, we've been yapping for 2 hours. I kind of like this new time. I don't know if y'all like this new time. I kind of like this new time. We gotta iron it out still, but I kind of like this new time that we've been doing. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. As always, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Derpy was in here super early. Before I even went live, he was in the comments. Elijah, thank you so much. You go. Thank you, Tulip Plays, for hanging out with me. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. Y'all are the best ever. I really appreciate y'all so much. Before I get out of here, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff if you haven't already. We are live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. Bro, one away. I was trying. Hopefully, I think we got you a couple. I'm gonna be one next time. You are. I think you are. But hey, we helped you get there. We got you a little bit closer. But let's try to get Derpy to 100 subs also. But thank you guys as always, man. Y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me, and I appreciate y'all so much for that. So thank you so much. I will see y'all on Friday. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Y'all have a great Thursday, man. Stay up. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good one.